With the holiday season upon us, all of us are struggling with the same questions. Is it safe to travel? What about having a small gathering at your home? Or should we avoid seeing friends and family altogether? Joining us to sort out this dilemma are Dr. Trish Pearl, UT Southwestern's Chief of Infectious Diseases, and Tony Roach with Southwest Airlines. Thank you both for joining me. Dr. Pearl, we're all balancing our desire to see our families around the holidays with what's safe and healthy. Tell us what the science is saying is safe for us to do and what's not safe to do.
Do everything you possibly can to protect people who are vulnerable, like your grandmothers. So the elderly, we have to really go out of our way to make sure that we protect those individuals who we cherish so much. Masks absolutely work. We also know that physical distancing works and hand hygiene, including alcohol hand gel, works. So those are very important things. We also know that outdoors is safer than indoors. So if you're going to have a gathering, being outside is better. Serving the food so that there's less sharing going on. So the family style is probably not what we want to do this year.
Dr. Pearl, many people are asking questions about what to do when you're seated with your family indoors. Do you wear a mask all the time except when you're eating, or is sitting far apart good enough?
It's best if you're wearing your mask as well as having that social distancing. Mask as much as possible, especially for family members that you're not living with. For young children, the other option would be to actually do face shields. There are now face shields that are built into hats.
Tony, many families are making decisions about travel, particularly air travel. Tell us a little bit about the practices at Southwest Airlines to keep employees safe during the pandemic and how those decisions might inform our decisions about travel.
There's been a lot of studies that talks about the risk of transmission on aircraft are very low. And there's been a couple things that we've been doing to really make sure that we're playing our part in that. For one, there's a universal mask policy, both for employees and for customers. And we take that very seriously, including we make sure that folks who come on the aircraft have the proper mask and they're well secured. And that's a big part of the strategy of keeping our employees safe as well as our customers. And then, the aircraft is just equipped with sophisticated systems and air filtration systems that plays a big part in that. And you couple that combined with a lot of the other policies and procedures we're putting in place throughout the whole travel journey, and it's creating a good, safe environment for both employees and customers.
Dr. Pearl, we hear about hot zones, areas of increased activity in terms of COVID-19 infections. What should families be thinking about traveling to a hot zone or having people visit them from a hot zone?
This virus is so endemic that it's not always where you've been, it's what you've done. If you've been in crowds, if you've been in a large group, if you've been near anyone who potentially has COVID, it's really those activities that are the most important. Think about the activities that are going to put you at risk or may put somebody who's visiting you at risk, as those are the people who potentially have COVID and we just don't know it yet.
Many people will be flying on a plane for the first time. What will be different for them when they enter the airplane and when they arrive at the airport?
You'll see that there's a lot more communication that you'll notice around about maintaining physical distancing and the reminder to do that. You'll see everybody wearing masks. There's a lot of cleaning that's going on throughout the day. Deep cleanings every single night. We're cleaning between every single turn on the aircraft.
Dr. Pearl, as you think about air travel, I know you've flown during the pandemic. Tell us what you're thinking about as you leave the house and you head for the airport.
I make sure that I have my bottle of alcohol hand gel. I wear a mask, and I also actually travel with a face shield. I just tell myself that it doesn't matter what I look like on the airplane, and even if I look silly wearing my face shield, that it's the best thing for me to be doing.
Tony, if people are not comfortable sitting in a middle seat or are worried about being on a full flight, what would you tell them?
Within 3 days of your trip, if you call us, we will let you know if your flight is forecasted to indicate there's going to be likely middle seats occupied. And we will let you move to another flight that is less full at no additional charge. And that's something that we've put in place just for the flexibility for customers that just may not be comfortable.
Dr. Pearl, many of us have relatives that are at higher risk that we might be visiting or having them visit us. what additional precautions should we be thinking about in those circumstances? For example, should we quarantine for 2 weeks before going to see them?
Get your influenza shot, your flu vaccine. This is the year we know that flu will start circulating relatively soon, so we should be doing that. And that's important for those vulnerable relatives. In terms of should you quarantine, I think that that honestly is a very good strategy to do. If you can do it and you have that luxury, that's going to protect not only you, but it's also going to protect somebody who is more vulnerable. You certainly don't want to take this illness to them. If you're developing symptoms, please do not go into any kind of family event where you could potentially give someone either COVID or another respiratory tract infection.
And Tony, tell us a little bit about what you, your family, and your coworkers are thinking about going into Thanksgiving and the rest of the holidays.
My family and I will be heading to go visit my in-laws, and we will be flying to go and see them and kind of practicing. I think there are some good tips, and Dr. Pearl just mentioned some of them. We'll be bringing along our own hand sanitizer. The TSA right now is actually allowing us to bring hand sanitizer up to 12 ounces through security.
So Dr. Pearl, how will you handle the holidays this year? What are you planning to do?
I am unfortunately not going to see my mother. This is like the first time in a long, long time, and it's partly to protect her. She's vulnerable, and I don't want her to be at risk. This is the year that we really have to think about those things. Two of my girls are going to be driving to Dallas, and so I will be seeing them. We're really looking to practice what we preach.
Tony, what are 3 things you want travelers to be thinking about as they enter this holiday season?
First and foremost is to remember to bring your mask. You can go to our website and find out the details of even the kinds of masks to bring. Number 2, when you get on board the aircraft, turn on your air vent. It allows the airflow on the aircraft to be maximized and allow the air filtration the system work in its best state. And then the last thing I just mentioned is, now is the time that if you're not feeling well, we ask that you not travel and just respect everybody else that's throughout the travel experience. And we have the right policies in place that gives you a lot of flexibility. That if you can't travel right now, we certainly encourage you not to if you're not feeling well. But other than that, I would just remind everybody to expect a really good travel experience.
Dr. Pearl, what are 3 things families should be thinking about as they prepare to travel or receive travelers during this holiday?
Wipe things down in the house, especially what we call high touch surfaces. So places that a lot of people are touching, and just do that as frequently as possible. Think about strategies and ways to interact so that you can maintain social distancing. What can you do to serve people and have that gathering, but also practice the best public health measures that you can? And then finally, if you're not feeling well, don't travel. Don't see anyone who's vulnerable.
Thank you both for joining us and giving us all this great information as we prepare for one of the most complicated travel and holiday seasons of all time. So again, thanks very much for being with us today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Until next week, stay safe and stay healthy.